Jeter here. Predictions are honestly more trouble than it's worth. Because more often than not, when you hear a story about a prediction, the story is often negative. When you hear that someone predicted something wrong, there's this tiny little voice in your head that is saying, "What an idiot. How did you get this wrong? You should have done the research." I probably would have guessed it right. And even when the story is about someone predicting something right, it still somehow ends up being negative. For example, a person will say, "I predicted that this stock will rise by 300%. But when you ask them, "How much money did you make then?" They then say, "Oh, I didn't buy any stock." And in your mind you think, "Jesus Christ, this guy is a pussy." You gotta listen to your instinct on these type of things. And you have to be very careful with your predictions. Otherwise, you'll end up ruining your reputation and legacy, like Paul Krugman. Paul Krugman is a Nobel Prize winning economist, and with these credentials, it would be only natural to assume that this Paul Krugman guy is a very well-read, intelligent fellow. But unfortunately for Krugman, he made the grave mistake of making one of his predictions public. As in 1998, Paul would write an article essentially predicting that the development of the internet will simply cease, and that the internet's impact on the economy will be no greater than the fax machine. After making that very stupid, idiotic, moronic prediction, Krugman's reputation went down the drain. And now, instead of being known as a Nobel Prize winner, he will now be remembered for being a stupid bitch. And to make things even worse, Krugman would cope by making up some bullshit saying that he was only trying to be provocative, and it wasn't a serious forecast. Yeah, right. Sure. And you see, that right there is the problem with making your predictions public. Because if you make a wrong prediction, your reputation goes down the drain. And you're branded as a stupid bitch, like Krugman. And even if you get your prediction right, if you don't capitalize on it, you're branded as a dumb pussy who didn't trust his instincts. So why do people make their predictions public when there is no tangible benefit? And that's because the dopamine of predicting the future is just too satisfying. This is a scenario I'm sure might have happened to you. Maybe you've adopted something niche early. It could have been a show, a fashion brand, or a YouTuber, maybe. For me, it was Geometry Dash in the 6th grade. I started the wave in my class. And when that niche thing becomes popular, you start to feel good about yourself. You start to feel smug. And why is that? Because that niche thing becoming popular validates your instincts, and it proves that you as a person have sense. As you see, any bozo can make an educated guess, but having good sense, that's rare in this world. And you see, you have all these guys, right? Like Krugman, Nostradamus, r/Wall Street Bets. They all seem to lack the most fundamental thing when it comes to making predictions: instinct. You see, smart people like you and me are genetically predisposed to having good instinct. That's why when the time comes to pick a side for the New World Order, me and you guys will be sipping pina coladas on our stone mausoleums, while all the serfs and peasants working the fields look up from below, envious of our greatness and wisdom. And I think it would be a travesty for me to not share my predictions, because these aren't ordinary predictions. They might as well be prophecy. And personally, I think I have an obligation to share this knowledge of the future with you guys. Because you guys need something to look forward to. Because the PS5 has no games. And it is more likely for us to colonize Mars before GTA 6 comes out. And I feel it is vital for me to set you guys on the right path, as there are false prophets out there who will try to lead you astray and take all your money. But if you listen to me, success is sure to follow. AI will get stupider. You might look at this prediction and think I've lost it. AI is constantly advancing every day and only continues to get smarter and smarter with each passing moment, as it is constantly absorbing new information to make itself even more intelligent. And you would be right, but here's the thing. Have you ever used Reddit without an account? Well, if you do, then you must know how dog shit it is. As according to my sources, the engineers over at Reddit have managed to concoct the most sophisticated algorithm known to man, as the front page of Reddit is designed to make you as stupid as possible. I'm serious, right now, open a tab in incognito mode and go to Reddit and just look at the dog shit they're serving you. I'm not gonna call out any subreddit in particular, as I don't want to be ran off the internet by the Reddit mafia, but what I am gonna say is that if these poor AIs continue to scrape the Reddit homepage for their information, they're going to get a lot dumber. Because on the Reddit homepage, you'll see shit like r/Peter explain the joke, a subreddit where people will ask their fellow Redditors to explain internet jokes to them. And don't get me wrong, I get the concept. The internet is so fast that it can be hard to keep up with all the lore. But I'm being completely serious when I say that seeing that subreddit on my homepage makes my life a bit worse. Because to me, it seems that everyone on that subreddit is incapable of using context clues, as they will ask assistance in deciphering the most basic lowest IQ shit imaginable. And the people who explain the jokes aren't that much better, as sometimes they'll explain it in character, like a Family Guy character. They'll be like, "Hey Peter, what's 9 plus 10?
You look lonely. I can fix that."
Dating is hard. Your favorite YouTubers except me are lying to you, viewer. They are getting richer while you are dying in swamp. They will only read your chat message after you are broke. These YouTubers want to make you fat. Do not trust their capitalist chemicals, viewer. Defect and only drink Tsingtao beer. YouTuber drinks are too colorful and make you very fat. Tsingtao beer is very clean. A worker did piss in the vat one time, but he was promptly arrested and then sentenced to 30 years of hard labor in the coal mines. Tsingtao beer, it's the #2 beer in China for a reason. This message was not condoned or sponsored by Tsingtao beer. Dating is hard. How do you even meet people nowadays? Do you use the dating app where the algorithms conspire against you? Or do you meet people through your social circles, like family and friends, who are also all conspiring against you? Or maybe you might go out to a bar where the bartender is also conspiring against you. Don't worry, it's not your fault. It's everyone else's fault. But if it's impossible to get a girlfriend, then what are we supposed to do? Are we just resigned to AI companionship? No. Well, you can, but you don't have to. As in the not-so-distant future, in response to declining birth rates, governments around the world will implement a government girlfriend program, where essentially, single men over 21 with no hopes of finding a partner will be able to opt into a government-arranged marriage, where a collective of super AIs will algorithmically determine the most compatible person for you. So don't worry, it is not over, because it's only just begun. Because according to my predictions, you will be able to have your wolf cut, Cookie Monster pajama wearing, goth 6-foot Japanese girlfriend. So don't worry about petty things like having a driver's license, a job, good hygiene, or any other of that mumbo jumbo, as all those things are lies made up by the HOA to prevent you from getting laid. And as for my final prediction, I predict that everything will work out. While I was born with a lot of natural talents like having good instincts, being funny, being short, unfortunately, I was not born with the most important talent of them all, which is being born into the Saudi royal family. And as such, my future is very uncertain. For all I know, this channel might never take off. I might develop type 2 diabetes and lose my foot, and my destiny might be to be a pawn, whose fate is to consume Soylent and live in a trailer park. But despite this very grim reality possibly awaiting for me, I have no fear. As you see, I've read the first page of Dune, and that single page told me all I needed to know. That and I lost the book. Fear is the mind killer. By letting fear into your life, you rob yourself of your potential. And I guarantee you that while you guys might not be as funny and as short as I am, I guarantee that you're probably much smarter and more well-adjusted than I am. And you guys have to remember what Matt Damon said in that crypto commercial. Fortune favors the brave. So be bold. Whether you succeed or fail, work toward your dreams and believe in your potential, as believing you'll fail without even trying is a way to guarantee failure. And if you felt even a modicum of joy watching this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, in that order. Anyway, have a good day. Bye.